So what do we have going on today in the world of the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? Well, we have some good news actually, but we aren't going to be getting to that first and foremost because with the good you have the bad, and of course we must address that first and foremost because, to be fair, that's probably what most of you guys want to click on to see anyways, because we actually have some shit that, on the face of it, looks pretty bad, honestly. Like, if this is true, which we're starting off with the propaganda, so, whatever, if you want to believe it, go for it. Believe all women, if you will, but I don't really know about the validity of this stuff. There's a whole lot of mitigating factors on this one, so again, the fact that it's front page news right now, and how many of these fucking stories do you need to see before you just really start to throw most of it away anyways? Oh, remember how a bunch of farmers just took over a bunch of Russian tanks and just drove them out and used the recovered artillery to fight them back? Yeah, sure, that was totally real. Tell me more about the ghost of Kiev or Ukraine, whatever the fucking fighter pilot was. Yeah, sure. Anyways, but a Ukrainian mother repeatedly raped by drunken Russian troops as son sobbed nearby. Oh, okay, cool. I thought the Russian troops, though, they were too busy either groveling and surrendering. They were too demoralized. But now you have ones that are just openly getting drunk in odd places and just stumbling into a nearby community and raping some people. Oh, okay, cool. All right then, like I said, it's horrible if true, but that's a pretty fucking high standard. A Ukrainian woman said she was repeatedly raped at gunpoint for hours by drunken Russian troops who shot her husband dead, and as her terrified 4-year-old son sobbed nearby. It is really terrible. Obviously it is. Okay, like this is a horrific story, and it's very, very sad and very, very traumatic if true, but fucking Hollywood script writers couldn't make for a sadder, more traumatic story, even if they were trying at this point, using the pseudonym Natalia, because, you know, originality is just out the window. The 33-year-old mother told the Times of London. She told the Times. You remember the Times, right? Most famously, in the past year, they were the ones that said Jordan Peterson was schizophrenic because he was describing his symptoms that he was going through when in rehab or in withdrawal when he was seeking treatment in Russia. Yeah, no, that same Times. Anyways, that troops stormed her rural home in the suburbs of the capital, Kiev, on March 9th. Huh. Even though she had a white sheet on her gate to show that there was just a family here, no one wants any harm. Clearly, these were just the most innocent people who ever innocented, and they were probably also baking any cookies in case any of the troops just happened to come by, and if anybody was shot or injured, they'd be able to just take them in and use that white flag that was waving outside of their house just to help and wish anybody back to good health. Natalia, whose rape Ukraine Prosecutor General Irina Vendatenko had announced was the subject of an official investigation. I don't know how you properly investigate something that happened 3 weeks ago at this point, 20 days ago. Well, whatever, good luck to you. Said they forced her to leave their home with their hands raised after invading soldiers first shot dead their dog. Is that the family names for her husband, the dog? But again, they were so organized, but then at the same time, they were also drunk. This story's falling apart. She said the unit's commander, who introduced himself as Mikhail Romanov, honestly, if the originality wasn't through the floor already, literally, Mikhail Romanov seemed drunk and deliberately crashed her car so that they would not be able to flee in a rural suburb, but nobody was around. Okay. After dark, she heard a single gunshot and saw the body of her 35-year-old husband, Andrei, on the ground by the front gate. She said, the younger guy pulled a gun to my head and said, I shot your husband because he's a Nazi, she told the UK paper. What? No, now. Oh, I can't believe this. Anyways, oh my God, this family, they didn't do anything, and there's no Nazis in Russia, or in Ukraine anyways. No, we know about the Wagner group that's off there, and that's just, it's perfect permeated all of those Russian forces. So all of those claims that Putin wants to denazify Ukraine, yeah, that's just confession through projection, right? So we can continue down this very real, very factual claim that I'm sure will get thoroughly investigated. But we actually have like a verifiable proof that somebody did die in Ukraine fighting for their motherland, and it was a world champion Ukrainian kickboxer. Maksym Kagal was killed in combat while fighting alongside soldiers in Mariupol. The Ukrainian kickboxer world champion has been killed in combat whilst fighting alongside soldiers in the besieged city of Mariupol, his coach said. Maksym Kagal, 30, was battling against invading Russian forces. As part of Ukraine's Azov Battalion unit in Mariupol on Friday. His coach Oleg Skirta said. Weird. Why wasn't I showing him a picture? Well, let's see how ingrained he was in the Azov Battalion. For those of you who are unaffiliated, the Azov Battalion has a very interesting iconography when it comes to their flag, which very good photography that they have there. You can kind of see the black sun that's just on the emblem itself. You can see it right there displayed on his shirt as well, behind his first place medal, which I don't know they got from a Ukrainian dollar store because that looks cheap as a motherfucker, but whatever. He could apparently kick the living fuck out of me. He is, you know what, dead, so I probably have a distinct advantage over him, but he's holding up the flag of the neo-Nazi group, and yep, died fighting alongside them. Cool. I know why that's about 2/3 of the way down the page on Daily Mail, and it was just Ukrainian kickboxing champion from 2014 killed in combat. Yeah, I wouldn't want to, you know, describe anything further, but proud member of the Azov Battalion. I don't know if I'd really call that a great loss or anything, but yeah, we'll call it a wash. How about that? But remember how big tech was just taking down all of those. Listen, guys, this is just going to be the Russian-funded channels, okay? Listen, that's as far as they're going to go. We just don't want any of that propaganda coming out of Russia, infiltrating the minds of the people that's out there, and that's where it's going to stand. It's not going to get any farther than that. Oh, wait, exactly what everybody anticipated was going to happen happened. YouTube Unblocks India news channel banned for reporting Russian statement. They were just reporting what Russians said, and they fucking axed it right there because you're disseminating misinformation. Yeah, see how this shit goes? It always goes this way. What the fuck else did you expect? YouTube unblocked India news channel WION, which had been banned from reporting Russian statements on the Ukraine war on March 26th after the news channel campaign against YouTube censorship garnered over 26,000 tweets in support. After a massive viewer-led 12-hour campaign that saw over 26,000 and counting tweets in support, YouTube unblocked WION. They had previously been banned for 7 days by YouTube over a video it posted on March 10th that showed 2 live speeches, first by Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmitry Kuleba, and the second by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Why would they catch a ban for that? Lavrov said in his speech that Russia did not attack Ukraine. Well, it's, I don't know, I think the fucking facts kind of speak for themselves. But these are like legitimate elected officials making these statements, so I don't know. And that Moscow had explained on numerous occasions that there was a situation that posed a direct threat to the security of the Russian Federation. Yeah, that's his side of events. I don't know, you can just fucking look through the information yourself and come up with your own conclusion, but fact of the matter is, Russia instigated this. Yeah, did they have legitimate reasons to do so? That's up for debate, okay? Did they have a perceivable case of self-defense? Did they think that Ukraine was encroaching on their mandatory neutrality on the world stage? Maybe you could check there as well, and that's for, you know, people to decide, of course, people who are actually making the policies and having these negotiations at this point in time. That's for them to decide, but apparently, according to YouTube, at least temporarily, nah, you ain't fucking discussing any of that stuff. Cool. Know a few fair things about that. I'm just reading basic facts from, I don't know, former Supreme Court nominees from places like Wisconsin, which we'll get to probably over the weekend because more fun stuff comes out of Wisconsin in regards to ballots in some previous elections and like the tens, just about hundreds of thousands. interesting results that we have there. But anyways, that's the bad, kind of bad, hilarious, fictional. I don't really know what to do with that stuff, but found it interesting enough to add into this, because now we just really have decent news, because there are developments. Ceasefire talks are taking place right now in Turkey in a neutral ground, and are they going to end up coming to a conclusion on this? Well, Russia has their demands. We've been over their demands before. And now we actually have something on paper from the Ukrainians as to what they're thinking about when it comes to a ceasefire and how you can get to the end of this prolonged conflict, even though it's only been going on for about a month now at this point. Ukraine demands security guarantees similar to NATO's Article 5, as long as you're neutral and not a part of NATO, and that your neutrality will be enforced by, you know, the greater European and Eastern Europe, because Russia's weird to just kind of quantify, right? Because it's sort of Europe, it's sort of Asia, it's sort of huge. So as long as their neutrality is guaranteed by both sides, it seems reasonable, and that was kind of a Russian demand as well. So okay, cool, we'll dive into that as well. And then it excludes the Donbass and Crimea. Oh, you know, those areas that, and it's like, listen, we have a lot of munitions that we could be using on Russians, which, I don't know, we hit a Western munitions depot in Russia and we got them, and that's what led to these talks. Sure thing, pal. Anyways, but they like turning off the power and the water to Crimea, and they like shelling the Donbass, so they don't really want to give up some of their playthings. They use them enough. Ukrainian negotiators on Tuesday proposed a mechanism similar to Article 5 of the 1949 North Atlantic Treaty, the founding document of NATO, to guarantee the security of Ukraine. The proposal would require the guarantors to hold consultations within 3 days to the start of any war, aggression, military operation, and any disguised hybrid war against Ukraine. Fair enough. After which, guarantors are legally obligated to provide military assistance to our country, in particular in forms of the armaments and the closure of the skies, the Ukrainian government said in a statement. Okay, here, this is exactly what I was going to ask. Who exactly are the guarantors in this one anyways? Suggested guarantors include permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, US, Great Britain, France, China, and the Russian Federation. Well, at least that's from both sides to ensure a neutrality on this one. I understand that. Ukraine also wants Turkey, Germany, Canada, Italy, Poland, Israel to be listed as guarantors. So the rest of the G7. So by proxy, they want to kind of want to pick and choose what types of policies and who they want to align with NATO and then also the old Warsaw Pact countries. Okay, I get it. However, some territories under dispute will not be covered by the security guarantee. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. As for the temporarily occupied territories of Donetsk and Luhansk, the Donbass regions, and the autonomous Republic of Crimea, since their status is not regulated. That's what Russia's trying to do. They're trying to recognize them as independent sovereign territories because they don't want to be a part of Ukraine anymore. So international security guarantees will not work temporarily in these territories, reads the statement. So basically by saying, listen, we want to guarantee our Ukrainian borders, except for the areas that Russia wants to, remember how they were talking, oh, they're trying to annex those areas. No, they're just trying to recognize them as sovereign states. Yeah, well, they can be recognized as sovereign states. Okay, cool. So what are we posturing about at this point? Well, that seems to be the claim now, because Russians begin withdrawing forces, except for those drunken ones that just want to start raping the country folk. Whatever, and reducing bombardments around Kiev. Oh no, but they're gonna regroup and storm Kiev any day now. The sure thing, pal. After vowing to radically reduce military activity during meaningful peace talks with Ukraine attended by Roman Abramovich. Well, to be fair, he has I don't know what he necessarily has to do there, but he, thanks to all of his assets being seized by literally every fucking government in the world, he doesn't really have much else to do. So, yeah, might as well hang out and see what the fuck is going on. Russia is already starting to withdraw some of its forces from the Kiev region after announcing it would radically reduce military activity at peace talks in Turkey today. US and UK intelligence has identified movements of the Kremlin battalion tactical groups around the capital after Deputy Defense Minister Alexander Fomin said the troops would start to scale back operations in Kiev and Chernihiv. Alright, wherever that is, don't really care. Downing Street said there has been some reduction in Russian bombardment around Kiev, largely because there's nothing left to bomb, because all of those assholes and monsters just razed everything to the ground. No. Ukrainian forces have been successfully pushing back the Russian offensives in the northwestern city. Sure they have. Whatever lie you need to tell yourself. But fighting continues. There's heavy bombardment in Mariupol and the other areas. Yeah, exactly like the areas that they said that they were going to go into and try to liberate, you know, the areas around Crimea and then in the Donbass as well. And Kiev's just kind of one of those contingent plans, because that's what you do. You go after the power infrastructure when you're trying to assault a region, not necessarily that they want to take the capital. If it's there for the taking, you're obviously going to go in there and take it if that's what you're trying to do anyways. And if you just leave the door open, of course they're going to come in. So you encircle Kiev, what they have been doing, because all of those reports, oh, they just keep bombing Kiev. It's basically been the outskirts, but whatever. Don't get the facts in the way of your narrative, I suppose. But then the rest of the conflict has been happening in the areas of Crimea, in the north, the northeast, and then in the southeast as well, the Donbass area where most of the fighting and where Mariupol is located. Those areas, Luhansk and Donetsk, whatever, those goofy to say regions. Anywho. Security officials believe the move is an acknowledgement of Russia's failure to encircle and capture Kiev in a matter of days. Yeah, that's another one of those nice wartime propaganda things. The Russia directive was never to capture the capital. So you can just say Russia was trying to capture the capital, and because they weren't trying to capture it, and they didn't do what they set out to do, you can say, aha, we have a victory because they didn't take the capital. All right, cool, I guess, whatever. Turkey hailed the move as the most significant progress in negotiations so far, and it raises hope that Putin will ease off his savage bombardment of Russia's and neighbors. Wow, there is so much editorializing in this. It's almost amazing. Fomin said... turn off this fucking worthless video. Fomin said the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation has taken the decision to radically reduce combat operations in the Kiev and Chernihiv areas in order to boost mutual trust and create the necessary conditions for further negotiations and for the signing of the aforementioned agreement. See the difference between the official statement and the journalistic integrity and reporting that happens as well. Russians are savages, and then it comes out, you know, the Ministry of Defense says they're going to back off because it's a good faith act, that we kind of just want to, you know what, just kind of come to an amicable agreement. Can we do that? That'd be great. Russia's chief negotiator, Vladimir, a lot of lads, Medinsky, said that there have been meaningful discussions at the talk, which were also attended by Roman Abramovich. A day after it was revealed he had been poisoned at a previous meeting with Ukrainian diplomats. Yeah, that's another claim that's been out there. Oh, Vladimir Putin, he's one of the most ruthless dictators literally ever, because he poisons like 13 different people. It's weird about the whole poisoning thing. He's just so malevolent about it, and all of these claims that are out there, except for the 13 people that he's poisoned, they just magically seem to pull through. Cool. Very dangerous poison that you have there. That's another one of those things that's really hard to substantiate, because poison tends to metabolize in the system fairly quickly, so good luck, you know, trying to prove any of those claims. But you can say it in order to claim your victimhood points and cash in on those. So hey, we need not linger on any of that stuff, and for the sake of brevity, as opposed to yesterday's very loquacious statements and verbose topics we were discussing, it's going to be a little bit of a retreading of what we were talking about yesterday with today's stuff as well, because of course more developments, especially with Ukraine and Russia, and of course had to talk about the fact that we're looking to be, hopefully, touch wood, coming to the end of this conflict, mostly so we can continue to shine the spotlight that has been on Eastern Europe for a month at this point, and bring it back stateside to those corrupt fuckers that are there to begin with, which is where we're going to transition to next. Oh, you just love segues like that. They're so fucking smooth. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Why don't you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.